Hey guys, what's up? My name is Art, back for another video. It is Saturday morning, almost 11:30 in the morning. This is something I've been thinking about for a while, mostly because of due to this current political climate. Okay. One thing that my dad told me when I was younger, you're not entitled to shit. So that me personally. He says, the only people who are entitled to anything is people who are rich. That's what he said. So that means, like, say for example, I give you an example. Donald Trump. Now he's a billionaire. All of his kids are rich too, because they set things up so that way they can stay. So that way, okay, if you want to make money, I'll help you out. You make your own money, and then you live off your own life. But then they're set up that way. They're set up that way. Now here's the thing. Think about all of his children are very successful in business and everything because they had all the advantages because of their state of their upbringing, circumstances. It's all circumstantial if you really think about it. Some people get born into it. Let's say you take your average hip hop artist who makes a million. Let's say Jay Z. Okay, let's say Jay Z. Current. He. Well, before I go any further, it's summertime, and of course, every day there's someone cutting somebody's grass, so it's loud as hell and it's annoying. But let me get back. His kids, the Kardashians, their kids. The Kardashians, their their father was O.J. Simpson's lawyer back in the day of the O.J. Simpson case. So they were rich already. And then what happened? They used that to propel themselves further. Okay. Me, I'm not like that. My dad was poor. My dad went to a high school. He was a track star, a very big track star. But the problem is he couldn't get he was one of the best track stars in that school's history. And from what I heard, his record was never broken until like 10 years ago. Okay, that kind of tells you something. Now let me open this window up because it stopped for a while. He couldn't, he couldn't get a scholarship. My mom thought she was too dumb to go to college, so she couldn't go because she didn't get a scholarship. But my aunt did. But anyway, so here I am, technically the first person in my family to go to college off my dad's side. And he tells me, you're not entitled to shit. And the funny thing is, that's correct. 90% of the population in America is not entitled to shit. You have to make your own way. Either by hook or crook, as they say. You can do things the right way or hook by crook. Okay? That's the way how it works. So here's the thing. I look up and it's like, one of the guys, Bernie Sanders, very socialist. But the thing is, he's a millionaire. Here's the funny thing: he's a millionaire. He's talking about socialism. That kind of boggles your mind a little bit, because most millionaires don't believe in socialism, right? But anyway, let's put it. Now here's a problem. Okay, so here's the thing. He was talking about student loans. Student loans. Let's forgive everybody's student loan. Well, here's the funny thing: is a lot of financial agencies, like 20 some years ago, didn't think about financial student loans would be a very good boom. the idea is we loan you some money, you get your job, you pay us back, we make more money. They didn't foresee the market bottoming out. They didn't foresee 9/11. They didn't foresee, you know, companies downsizing. They didn't foresee that. They didn't foresee all that. Thing is, we loan you money, you have to pay us back. A lot of people defaulted because they lost jobs. They lost jobs. Losing jobs means you lose income. Losing income means you can't pay them back. You go into default. Now what happens, the job market is coming back, but the problem is the jobs that's coming out don't pay like they used to. For example, in Detroit, the big three, Ford, Chrysler, GM, starting off used to be like 25 to 30 bucks an hour. Now starting off is like 10 to 15. So how are you going to pay back? And that's supposedly a good job. So how are you going to pay something like student loans back if that happens? See, something has to be reworked. Something has to be done and reworked to make things happen. Okay? Now here's the thing. I went to school. All my loans, I'm looking at my thing right now. I borrowed $61,000. Okay, I borrowed $61,000 from 1998, from like 1992 to 1998. 6 to 8 years. Now think about that. Well, actually, 90 from 90 to shit. I started school in 88 from 98. So 10 years. $61,000. That's kind of expensive, don't you think? But the thing is that when you go to college, you have to take all these classes to make you a well-rounded individual. Oceanography. What really does oceanography have to do with making money? Know who makes money off of oceanographers? People who go to sea. You know what I'm saying? Philosophy majors. The only way you can make money is if you write your own books or you become a teacher. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things you have to pay to become a teacher. Of course, you get student loans as well. Now, when I got my job in 2000, I didn't start paying back my student loans till I deferred them until like a year until I got my job. So like 2001, 2002, I started paying all my student loans. Now think about it. 2002. This is 2019. That's 17 years. My current balance is $57,000. Let me show this to you. You see that? Maybe you can't. Okay. Well, if you could see that, you would notice I only knocked down $4,000 of the principal balance. Now, if you was able to see it, do you understand what the problem is? Why is school so damn expensive? For one, and it doesn't guarantee you a job. For the thing is, some people see. The thing is that do you have to go to college? The answer is no. You don't have to go to college. You can go to trade school like HVAC or something like that. If you like working with your hands, you could do that way. And true, you can go to like some schools, HVAC. Sorry, nose itching. HVAC. 2 years you work in a job, then within 5 years you go own your own damn company. Money. A friend of mine tried a job. He tried the college thing, didn't work out for him. He becomes a bill. He tried to sell insurance, that didn't work for him. Also, he becomes a bill bondsman. He started making money. No, you didn't need college for that. But the thing is that for my college loans, I had it subsidized. I had it all through the federal government because I worked for the federal government. And at first I said, well, can't they just garnish it? Can they just take it from my check? That way I don't have to worry about it. They said no because that's a garnishment. I'm like, yeah, but that'll be easier. And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. It makes sense. I work for the federal government, federal student loans, subsidized under the federal government. Win-win, right? I work, they take it out, I don't see it every time it's paid. But they don't like doing that. Okay, fine. Now what happened is, in 16 years, I only knocked down $4,000 of the principal. That means for the last 15 years I was paying nothing but interest. So basically, if you really thought about it all, your repayment's like over $100,000. But problem is, I had to go through student loans to get my money on time. Because at first I used to have to get Pell Grants, which is free money. 60% of my college would have been paid by Pell Grants, and 40% by loans. Problem was, Pell Grants never showed up until the last couple months of a year. I end up owing a balance of up to $2,000. So that means I had to spend the summer paying off the balance so I could register for school. And with all that, they're like, well, if you go the straight loans route, it goes quicker, and it did. So that means when the semester started, everything was paid for. Room and board, everything was paid for. I got like $1,000 extra, 15 up to $2,000 extra for spending cash, and I used it. I really did. And I'm not. I mean, here's the thing. I'm grateful for it. I'm very grateful. Trust me. It helped me get my job. Help get you a job. College degrees only help you get it. See, what happened was, when I was getting 20 years ago, the mind state of everybody was different. To get a good job, you either have to work at the airport, work for the big three, or go to college. You get a good job. Learn that college just guarantees you a step into getting a good job. Doesn't guarantee you anything, but it's great. Now here's the thing. Under the federal, having everything subsidized through the federal government, they said, okay, after 20 years, whatever is left, we waive. Good call. So 2001, 2021, which is 2 years from now, $60,000, whatever is left of this, would have been waived because I paid it. Now here's the thing. That was the agreement with the federal, getting everything subsidized through the federal government. 20 years, you pay off with very little hiccups, and guess what? We waive the rest. So the thing is, in 2 years, this thing would be waived, no matter how much I owed. We waived. That was 20 something years ago. Now here's the thing. They sold it to a private company. So that is out the window now. See, in 2 years, that would have been waived. A lot off my back. I wouldn't have had to worry, right? So here's the thing. What Bernie Sanders is talking about right now, I wouldn't have to worry if they would have if they wouldn't have sold it. But they sold it. Now with Mohila, which does a lot of student loans now. They're in business of doing student loans. So what happened is that agreement don't exist with them. So I'm stuck paying on it. Okay. Some of you will say, well, Art, you took the loans, you got to pay it back. Yes. Agreement also stated that if I had paid 20 years without much hiccups, whatever left is waived. That's out the window. So things change. So now when I hear about him saying, let's waive all student loan debt, I'm saying, $61,000 is going to be, if I vote for him and he gets it right, $61,000 is waived. Well, it's actually 50 some thousand is waived. Okay. So right now I'm paying like $350 a month, $347 a month for it. That means that $347 a month can actually go into like stuff I can buy, like this stuff, which help the market. Okay, but it doesn't work like that. Now, during Obama's administration, they said, okay, we can get your student loan rates if you follow these programs. Now, the programs is this. In order for now, the thing is, some people got their stuff waived because they didn't you know, they didn't borrow that much money. Some people, like for example, one of my coworkers, her family paid for the majority of her college, her education, paid out a majority of her education. So she only had to borrow like up to 5 to 7, between 5 and 10,000. And the thing is that you had to be paying most, the standard rate, which for me would be like $1,000 a month. One of my coworkers has to pay $1,000 a month. Him and his wife together had to pay $1,000 a month for student loans. Now, like I said, I have no. It's a debt that I have to repay. But the thing is, now I renegotiated to pay the lowest amount I could, which means that the money when I work, not all my check goes to that. I'm paying my mom's house, which is all like $1,000 a month. So imagine $1,000 a month goes to this house. Another 1,000 goes to my student loans, and then I gotta figure out everything else from there. Ay caramba! Now, now here's the thing. Now, a person like myself is looking like this. The mortgage we build out big businesses. We build out the big three auto companies. We build out all these businesses and stuff like that with taxpayers' money to keep them going, because we can't allow them to fail, because if they fail, a lot of stuff happens. How come someone like me cannot get that kind of relief? See, and that's the question that a lot of us have. Even though I am paying on it every month, even though I do pay for it every month, a lot of us have is that we could bail out this business here, we could bail out these businesses and all this other stuff, but we can't get any help. That's why a lot of people technically are aligning with him because of that stat. I mean, think about this. My house, this house that I'm living in right here, is my mom's house. She was a victim of predatory lending. In theory, her and her husband at the time could not afford this kind of house, but somehow they got it. Now I have to pay close to $1,000 a month to. I mean, here's the question: some people I know, their mortgages is like $500 to $600 a month because their credit's good. So I'm like, why am I paying $1,000 a month for my mom's house? Because she has shitty credit. Do I have to pay for it? No, but it's nice for me to have a place to stay. And plus, if I have my own place, I'm not having them move in with me. That would be kind of defeats the purpose, So what happens if someone like me would think of this? It's not that I'm a socialist. I have socialist leanings, but basically what I mean, people who need the help should get the help. If you knock off $20,000 to $30,000 off my student loan, I'd be grateful. That's all I'm asking. If you want to waive the whole thing, great. If you want to waive like 10 to 20,000, that's even greater for me as well. That allows me to have more buying power for something else later on. But the thing is that most people think that you're entitled to this, and you're not. But it's not about being entitled to something like this, like student loan forgiveness. But if I can use if you use my tax dollars that I pay in the taxes to bail out all these businesses and to keep them afloat till they repaid you back, and then what happened is some of them repaid you, some of them in the midst of all that gave their executives big ass bonuses. Then you know what I'm saying. Then how come someone like me can't get a little help here? It's like quid pro quo. You know what I'm saying? Now you can label me a socialist, yeah, because I want my student loan forgiveness. Imagine getting me hell, I'll be like, hey, that's more buying power for me to buy stuff. That's more buying power. I could contribute to the country a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this is about student loan forgiveness. Even though what happens, my nieces are now just finally got up. I thought I couldn't do this video before they can get up. Well, actually, all three of my nieces are here, and I help babysit. Well, one's 15, so I'm helping her babysit the twins, which is 6. So with that in mind, I'm also doing laundry, and I want to try to go to the gym today sometime and get them dinner. But with all that said, just hey, watch this. It's a lot longer than I expected. I'll be doing another video about entitlements or potential entitlements very soon. So if you like this, if you like the content I'm kind of, subscribe to me. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you'd like to leave a comment, leave me a comment. Now, if you actually could give me a comment, like Haley's comment, that'd be awesome. But I know you can't, so give me a comment so I can let's have a discussion. Talk to you later.